This podcast contains strong language and discussions about relationships, sex, and love. It may not be suitable for younger listeners. This is the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast, and I am Nixalina. Hi, it's Nixalina. Welcome back to another episode of me. This is a very interesting topic today, but it's kind of niche in terms of who can relate. And basically, the people that can relate are expats, and that's it. And it is called the expat struggle. Too foreign for the home you left, too foreign for the home you found. This is a thing that nobody warns you about when you become an expat. And I became an expat blindly. Like, I didn't, well, whatever. Yeah, I'll move across the world. What's the worst that can happen? Never been to Singapore. Never been to Asia. Well, I'd gone to Thailand to an elephant sanctuary. That's as far as I went. And I didn't think about expat life. I didn't know the word expat, right? True story, 29. And then when you become one, especially the way I did it, where you just dive in head first, there are so many things about that lifestyle choice that you aren't prepared for. Now, I knew I would get homesick a lot because, of course, you know, your whole life has changed. Your family unit's not around you. If you're lucky, you get to move with a partner. But I moved solo. You've left your comfort, your everything. So I expected homesickness. What I didn't expect is to feel like I can't go back and I also can't stay. So this is what I'm going to try to explain. Hear me out. What happens when you become an expat and you love where you've moved to? There are many expats who move somewhere and go, oh, not for me, and they're back home within 12 months. I originally had a 12-month idea in my head of how long I'd stay here. And that was 9 years ago. 9 years ago. I just love Singapore. As soon as I landed here, I was like, yeah, this is for me. This is for me. So but I always figured it would be a long short term, as in it won't be my final destination. I would do X amount of years. Each year rolls by. At some point, I'll move back to London. At some point, I'm going back. And I've told this to my friends and family. Oh my God, I have crisis every few months. I'm moving back. I've even got quotes to move my cats back. Like, I almost booked that one-way flight. And then I go back to visit the UK and I'm like, I don't belong here anymore. This ain't my home. I don't feel like I fit in it anymore. It's not that I've outgrown it, because that's the wrong word, because that sounds quite arrogant, and it's not that. It's that the person I am now doesn't fit into that lifestyle that I had. Hi, allow me to pop right in here for a quick break and introduce you to today's sponsor, which is the Meat Club, an online food delivery service based in Singapore. These guys started out in 2014 because they were finding it difficult to source high-quality, affordable meat in Singapore. And I totally get where they're coming from. I really struggle with my home cooking on finding the produce. Now, I love to cook a British Sunday roast dinner. If you're on my Instagram, you know it's my thing. But it's always about the produce and ingredients you start off with. And so when I found the Meat Club, I was really excited to try out their fresh, organic, cage-free chicken, the vegetables. They source everything from New Zealand and Australia, so that kind of tells you the quality of food that you're dealing with. Now, they're not a butcher's, so let's get that straight. They do not touch, fill, seal, or open any of the produce. They completely trust their suppliers to bring in the best food, which means they also remove any unnecessary freezing and defrosting cycles. Basically, you're getting, I say as best you can, farm to table, given we do live in the city, right? Now, with these guys, the subscription service that they offer, you can do it every week, every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, or you could even do a one-off shop just to dip your toe in, see if you like it. But I love how they take the hassle and the stress out of worrying whether my kitchen and fridge is going to be full of food or not. You can do quite literally a click, set and forget subscription model with them. That's it, done and dusted. You don't need to worry anymore. They also offer $140 in rewards with your subscription service. And if you use my personal code, NIX15, that's NIX15, you will receive $15 off at checkout. So once again, thank you so much to the Meat Club for sponsoring today's episode. And thank you for making my personal roast dinners taste even better. And with that, we'll head back to the story. On the same score, I feel like sometimes I don't fit long-term into Singapore either. You know? This is like, it's such a hard thing to get your head around. And that's what I mean when I say you're too foreign for the home you left and you're too foreign for the home you found. Like, I live in two worlds and I belong in none of them. And it's such a crazy concept, but it's how I feel. I don't know where I'm going to end up. And I don't know which lifestyle choice will make me happier. Like, sometimes I just crave the British countryside. Cottages and gardens in spring and sheep and cows in fields and greenery and woodlands and fresh air. And I crave it so bad. And then I think, oh, Nix, just move back, move to the countryside, buy the house, get the garden. And then every time I go back to the UK, I'm like, within a few days, I'm like, no, I want to be in Singers. I want to be home in Singers. Get me on a plane back. Isn't that crazy? And that's been cyclical. It's gone on and on and on and on and on. And I have reached the point, though, wonderful, gorgeous point of my life where I am so happy with my lot in life. And I've just moved condos and I'm like, I could stay here. And it was touch and go. Like, even at the start of this year, I was moving back. In like March kind of vibe. That's when I had some career stuff going on, which I can't talk about. But luckily, things moved in a different direction and I'm just so relieved. And I'm like, oh, thank fuck for that. I didn't have to move back. And then that's where my brain goes, hang on a minute, you're relieved about not having to move back to the UK. So you want to be in Singapore, right? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I do. But then there's always a part of me that's like, Singapore's never a long-term plan for you. So what? Where next? It's so insane. And it's a real head trip because trying to get your mind around the fact that you don't feel like you really have a home, it is scary. It's unsettling. And yeah, it makes you feel a bit lost, but you're not lost. You have an incredible lifestyle. I'm very lucky to have an incredible lifestyle. I also, my brand's here, my podcast is here, my community's here, all the press events I get invited to, it's all here. I go back to London. Yes, I had a huge London profile back in the day. That was 9 years ago. I'd have to start from scratch. I'm 2 years off of 40. I start from scratch again. Like, do you know how many times have changed? It's like, you then feel like, hang on a minute, well, no, now I'm here. Now Singapore is now my home. Isn't it? Is it not? Because you've got the expat label. I'm on an employment pass. That job could be taken away in any moment. And you're done. And that's the other thing about being an expat in a country where you have to have a visa, a working visa. Anything happens to your job, you got 90 days to get out the country. What? Yeah. Because you can't legally work there unless you get another job. It's always this unsettled, unbalanced part of life. And I just wanted to talk about it because it's been something that's been on my mind that I just don't think anyone's really touched upon. Like, you can feel that you live in two different places and you don't know which one is you anymore. Am I the British rider who loves countryside? Am I the expat in Asia podcaster who walks to work in the sunshine and lives by the palm trees? Like, who am I? And you're both, and then you're also neither. It's very difficult for me to get that across. But it's just something I want to voice because, especially if you're an expat or you're thinking about becoming an expat, this is something that no one really prepared me for. If I had known back then, would I have changed my mind about moving and emigrating? No, I would still have done it. But I might have been a bit more thoughtful in terms of like my actual 5-year plan at each step of the way. I'm actually glad, to be honest. I didn't know that this could happen because I wouldn't want it to have tainted my mindset or made me change my mind, because moving to Singapore was the best decision of my life, 120%. But it's not, and I don't regret it. And even now, I don't regret it. Like, I fucking love my life. I feel very, very grateful. But it's just this constant underlying unease of like, is this my forever life? And you just go, well, no, because I'm an expat. How can it be? Your brain is like, well, of course, at some point you'll go home. Home being the UK. Of course, right? You want to settle down? You need to go home. You know what I mean? Where's actually, and then like, but no, because it doesn't feel like home anymore. It doesn't. Am I making any sense? Probably not. I am going to cut this episode short today because I'm sure you can hear I have a very hoarse voice at the moment. So talking a lot, especially doing back-to-back podcast episodes, is draining my vocal cords. So I will love you and leave you, but I'm really interested in people that feel this way. So if you're an expat or you've been an expat or you thought about it and said, no, I'd love to hear from you, please message me as always. You can slide into my DMs. At Nixalina, Nixalina. And with that, I will see you all next week. Thanks for listening to the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast. Produced and hosted by me, Nixalina, and recorded in the Splice Cast Studios in Singapore. I'm available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and all major podcast listening apps. Do subscribe to enjoy a new episode every Monday evening. Please do give me a 5-star review. It helps other people also find my podcast. For more content and features to read, you can check out my website, nixalina.com. That's nixalina.com. I'm also on social media. Simply search at Nixalina, Nixalina, to find me. Don't be shy. Come say hi.